Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at something I think is pretty interesting.
Okay.
We've got a top 10 list from the top10s.com,
Okay.
and it's all about famous red-haired women in entertainment.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so, we've got actresses, singers, voice actresses, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the names on this list are like, whoa, okay, I can definitely see why they're on here.
Right.
But then there are a few that are like, huh, interesting.
I see.
So I'm really curious to dive into this with you and see what we can uncover. Like, why are these women ranked where they are? What makes them so iconic?
Right.
And maybe even uncover some hidden connections or, interesting facts about these women that maybe even, I don't know.
Sounds good.
So you ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
So right at the top of the list, we've got Madeleine Petsch.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's known for Riverdale, right?
Yeah, she plays Cheryl Blossom.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah.
she's got that fiery red hair that definitely fits the character.
Definitely.
Then we've got Liliana Momi.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I remember her from Cheaper by the Dozen.
And Santa Claus movies.
Oh, that's right. She was in those too.
Yeah.
Wow, talk about a family-friendly icon.
Ray, she's been around for a while.
Yeah, she has. And then there's Debbie Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her from, like, all those Disney Channel shows.
Yeah, Sweet Life on Deck and Jessie.
Yes, exactly. And she always had that kind of, like, girl-next-door vibe, but with, like, a touch of mischief, thanks to that red hair.
I see what you mean.
Okay, so moving on, we've got Christine Cavanaugh.
Oh, wow. Now she's a legend.
Why do you say that?
Well, she's mostly known for voice acting.
Okay.
And get this, she's the voice of Babe,
Babe the Pig.
the one and only.
No way. I had no idea.
Yep. And she also voiced characters in Darkwing Duck and Rugrats.
Wow, so she's got, like, this incredible range.
Absolutely. From a sweet little pig to a sassy duck to a mischievous toddler, she could do it all.
That is so cool. It's amazing how you never really think about the people behind those iconic voices.
Right. They're the unsung heroes of entertainment.
Totally. Okay, so next up we have Marcia Cross.
Okay.
Now she's known for Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, she played Brie Van de Kamp.
Right, exactly. And I always remember her for that, like, perfect red hair. It was always so styled and elegant.
It was definitely part of her character's image.
It totally was. And then we have Francesca Capaldi.
Okay.
Now she's a bit younger, right?
Yeah, she's known for Dog with a Blog.
Oh, yeah, I remember that show. She was adorable.
She was, and she's got that bright red hair that just makes her stand out.
For sure, for sure. Okay, moving right along, we've got Christina Puccelli.
Oh, I know her voice.
You do what from?
She's done a lot of voice work for animation.
Oh, okay.
She was in The Amazing World of Gumball, and she's the voice of Luan Loud in The Loud House.
Oh, wow. Another voice acting icon.
Yeah,
It seems like redheads are really dominating that field.
they're definitely making their mark.
Okay, next we have Jerry Halliwell.
Ginger Spice.
Yes, from the Spice Girls. Now, she was like the epitome of girl power.
Absolutely. She rocked that red hair and that Union Jack dress with confidence.
Yeah, she really... Okay, so coming up on the top 10, we have Allison Hannigan.
Oh, I love her.
Me too. She was amazing in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and How I Met Your Mother.
Such iconic roles, and she always had that kind of like quirky but relatable vibe.
Yeah, definitely. And that red hair just added to her charm.
It did.
Okay, and rounding out the top 10, we have Sadie Sink.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Right, she's blown everyone away in Stranger Things.
And she's got a background in theater.
Really?
Yeah, she was on Broadway playing Annie, and she even played a young Queen Elizabeth in the audience.
No way. That's incredible. So she's got this whole other side to her.
She does. She's a very talented young woman.
It's amazing to see these like younger actresses coming up and just totally killing it.
It gives you hope for the future of entertainment.
It really does.
Yeah.
So that's our top 10 folks. A diverse group of talented, red-haired women who have made their mark on the entertainment industry.
And we're just getting started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's take a look at some of the comments on this list because things get a little interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, there are some disagreements about certain actresses and, whether they should even be considered redheads.
oh, this is going to be good.
I know, right? So let's dive into that.
Okay, let's do it.
So, okay, diving into these comments,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of talk about Emma Stone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of people are saying she shouldn't even be on this list
Really? Why is that?
because she's not a natural redhead.
Oh, interesting. So it's a debate about what truly defines a redhead.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it gets you thinking, like, is it just about natural hair color or is it more about how someone presents themselves, the roles they play?
Right, like the image they cultivate in the public eye.
Yeah. And Emma Stone has definitely rocked the red hair look in a lot of her movies.
She has easy la 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 way.
Yep. And I even think she went back to red for one of those Woody Allen movies.
Irrational Man. I think you're right.
So maybe it's more than just natural hair color. Maybe it's about how that hair color becomes part of their persona.
It's like a signature in a way.
Right. And it makes you think about all the other actresses on this list. Like, do they all start out with red hair, or did some of them adopt it as part of their image?
That's a good question, and it makes this whole top 10 thing even more subjective.
Totally, because it's not just about talent or success. It's also about perception and how we as an audience define certain things, like what it means to be a redhead in Hollywood.
Absolutely, and it's interesting how those perceptions can change over time.
Yeah, for sure. Like maybe back in the day, it was all about natural hair color, but now it's become more fluid, more about embracing a certain look or style.
Right, and maybe that's a good thing. It opens up more possibilities for actresses, and it challenges those rigid categories.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
no.
So even though Emma Stone might not be a natural redhead,
Hmm.
she's definitely made an impact with that red hair, and she's become associated with it in the minds of many.
Absolutely, and that speaks volumes about the power of image and how it can shape our perceptions.
Okay, so moving on from the whole Emma Stone debate, there are a couple of names further down this list that I have to admit I'm not familiar with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's Milva and Kirsten Walther.
Hmm. Those names don't ring a bell for me either.
Yeah, I tried looking them up, but I couldn't find much information.
Well, it just goes to show that this top 10 list is just scratching the surface.
Right, like there's a whole world of talented red-haired women out there who might not be household names.
Exactly, and it makes you wonder what criteria were used to create this list.
Yeah, like is it based on popularity awards, critical acclaim, or maybe something else entirely?
It's a mystery, but it's definitely food for thought.
It is. So let's keep exploring this list and see what other hidden gems we can uncover.
Okay, I'm game.
So scrolling down, I'm seeing Bella Thorne.
Oh, yeah.
She started out as a Disney Channel star, but she's also a singer.
I remember that she had a few pop songs,
Yeah, but it seems like she's really trying to break out of that Disney mold.
which can be tough. A lot of child stars struggle with that transition.
Totally. And then there's Julianne Moore,
Oh, she's amazing.
right? She's known for taking on these really complex dramatic roles.
Yeah, she's not afraid to push boundaries and explore difficult themes.
Exactly. And she always brings this, like, intensity and depth to her performances.
She's a true artist.
Yeah, she is. And, it's interesting to think about how her red hair plays into her image.
In what way?
Well, she often plays characters who are fiery, passionate, maybe even a little bit dangerous.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like that red hair almost becomes a symbol of their inner turmoil.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes me wonder if she's intentionally chosen those roles or if she's been typecast because of her hair color.
That's the age-old question, nature versus nurture.
Right. And maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe she's drawn to those roles, but maybe Hollywood also sees her as a perfect fit for them because of that red hair.
It's definitely a complex interplay of factors.
Okay, so continuing down the list, we have Paloma Faith.
Oh, I love her.
Me too. She's got that amazing retro style.
Yeah, she's like a modern-day vintage goddess
And her music is so unique. It's like a blend of soul pop and jazz.
with a theatrical flair.
Yes, exactly. And, it's funny looking at the comments for her.
What are people saying?
Well, there's this one comment that's just hilarious.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It says, the Red Rangers from Power Rangers can eat sea cat? P.U.
Oh, what?
I know, right? It's completely random.
That's the internet for you. You never know what you're going to find.
It's true. And, it makes you wonder how these comments even relate to Paloma Faith.
Right, like what's the connection?
I have no idea. But it's a good reminder that sometimes these online discussions can go off on some pretty wild tangents.
They can, and sometimes those tangents are the best part.
That's true. Okay, so back to our list.
Okay.
I'm noticing a trend here. A lot of these women have successfully transitioned between different mediums.
Oh, you're right, like stage to screen acting to music.
Yeah, exactly. Like take Sadie Sink, for example.
Right.
She started on Broadway, and now she's a huge star in Stranger Things.
And Hayley Williams from Paramore, she's also branched out into songwriting and collaborations.
Right, and Florence Welch, she brings this theatrical presence to her music.
It's like they're not content with just one form of expression. They're constantly pushing boundaries and exploring new avenues.
And maybe that's part of what makes them so captivating as red-haired women in entertainment. They're not afraid to challenge expectations and break out of those traditional molds.
I think you're onto something. They're showing us that red hair can be a symbol of versatility and creative power.
Totally. And it makes you think about all the other talented red-haired women out there who are doing amazing things. Maybe they're not on this top 10 list, but they're still making their mark.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that success can take many forms.
So as we continue this deep dive, I think it's important to keep in mind that this list is just a starting point.
Right, it's a jumping off point for a much larger conversation.
Exactly. And that conversation is about more than just red hair. It's about representation. It's about challenging stereotypes. It's about celebrating individuality and creative expression.
And it's about recognizing that there's no one right way to be a successful red-haired woman in entertainment.
I like that. So with that in mind, let's move on to the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, let's do it.
You know, it's funny. We started with this top 10 list,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really become about so much more.
It has, hasn't it?
Yeah, like we've talked about so many things.
Representation stereotypes, the power of image.
Exactly. And it just goes to show that you can find these like deeper meanings and connections in the most unexpected places.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, who knew a list of red-haired actresses could spark such a thought-provoking conversation?
I know, right? It's been a
Yeah.
wild ride.
Been a fun one.
Totally. And, I think it's really cool how these women are using their platform to challenge those old-fashioned ideas about red hair.
Yeah, like that whole fiery temper stereotype.
Right. They're showing us that red hair can be just as diverse and multifaceted as any other hair color.
And they're proving that it's not a limitation, it's a source of strength and individuality.
Exactly. And it makes me think about all the young girls out there who are looking up to these women. Like, seeing someone who looks like you succeeding in Hollywood,
Yeah.
that can be so powerful.
It can inspire a whole new generation to embrace their uniqueness.
And to chase their dreams no matter what.
That's what it's all about.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is
Okay.
this deep dive has really opened my eyes to the power of representation.
Me too.
And it's made me appreciate these red-haired actresses even more.
They're paving the way for a more inclusive and diverse entertainment industry.
And they're showing us that red hair is something to be celebrated, not stereotyped.
Absolutely.
So to all you redheads out there,
Mm-hmm.
keep rocking that hair
And keep breaking those boundaries.
because you're awesome.
You are. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a blast exploring this topic with you,
Yeah.
and we hope it's given you some food for thought.
We'd love to hear your thoughts, too. What are your own associations with red hair?
How do you see those perceptions changing over time?
And what other hidden connections and fascinating insights might you discover?
By taking a deep dive into something that piques your curiosity.
Remember, there's always more to explore, more to learn, and more to uncover.
So keep questioning, keep digging, and most importantly, keep those deep dives going.
Thanks for listening.